Okay, so in this sub-lesson, we're going to just create a line chart, and then we're going to go through and format that line chart. Let's go ahead and get the Power BI file open that's going to support this sub-lesson, and just go ahead and wait a moment here. Okay, so we have our desktop file open here, and what we're going to do here is on the overview page, keep in mind once again we still have two pages here. We have overview and product information, which we just created a moment ago in a previous sub-lesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a line chart in this space right here. So I'm just going to click on the canvas to make sure it has focus. What we're going to do is go into the visualizations pane right here, and just let me go ahead and zoom in just to show you where this is. We're going to go into the visualizations bucket right here and choose the line chart. Pretty basic. Go ahead and choose that. Let's drill ourselves back out, or zoom out I should say. And let's just go ahead and put the line chart roughly here inside of the actual canvas. So let's get it lined up like that. All right, so now we're ready to start binding some data into this actual visualization. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just open my fields pane up a little bit more and ensure the visual still has focus. I'm going to click on order date. And what I want to do here is I actually want to take the entire order date hierarchy from this field here. So I'm going to take this and drag it over into the axes. And what this is going to do is set us up for a subsequent sub-lesson where we start talking about drilling down on our information. So we're going to take advantage of the hierarchies that we created back in a previous lesson to allow people to roll up and roll down from days to months to years, and from years down to months down to days based on how they want to view their data. Okay, so that's the first piece there. So let's then go ahead and go over to our sales table. So I'm going to open up the sales table. I'm then going to bring my total sales once again into my values pane right here. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we can see that we have our sales line chart being drawn out like so. Okay, so the last things that we're going to do on this line chart here is we're just going to go ahead and format it. So once again, make sure that it has the proper focus. I'm going to go to the visualizations pane under format. Click on that right there. What we'll do first here is let's go into the general card and get things positioned where we want them. So let's just make this 41. So let's go ahead and do that. The Y position, we want to make 246 like that. The width, we're going to go ahead and say 585 like so. And finally, with the height, we're going to say 407. So let's go ahead and do that. Get our visual position where we want. So that looks good. What we want to do here next is we are going to go into our title card. So let's go down to title and scroll into here. And actually, let's give this a completely different title. Let's just call this sales performance. Yeah, something like this here. So sales performance, like so. Go ahead and hit enter. And once again, just following our standards from before, let's go ahead and put that in the center and make sure we got a 14-point font and a black background. Perfect. So now we've got our visuals actually looking pretty darn good here. Actually nice and consistent, clean, appealing, following the backgrounds and using our theme files to give things a consistent color. Okay, so that really takes us to the end of this particular sub-lesson. What we want to do is just focus on building the line chart out itself first. This time we're going to actually leave the titles on for the X and Y axis versus what we did in previous sub-lessons where we went ahead and turned them off. And what we're going to take a look at in the next sub-lesson is how to use drill down on this line chart.